This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Or now it's actually evening, but basically the same time. They changed the clock, so I guess for now we're going to be doing 5:30 until I guess it's readjusted. Okay, we continue in Sefer Devorah. We're now in chapter 5, which is probably the most difficult chapter to sort of wrap your mind around, because it's giving a metaphor that the various types of chasodim are that the various forms of chasodim are allegorical to various kindnesses that you could do upstairs in Shemayim. As the chapter began, that Ezehu chesed hamischasedim koinoi, that the various forms of chesed, be it when a child is born and you have to do chesed, so that's analogous to when Bina gives birth to Tiferes and you want to make sure it comes out letzad hayamin, or to mal a child is a chesed of removing anything extra from Yesod, or to mavaker choylem, the Shechina and Kochabrichu are lovesick, or number 4 was to give tzedakah to the aniyim, which is Yesod and Malchus, which is to say 90 amenim, 4 kedushas, 100 brachas, and chamisha chumshei Torah. So now let's do the last 4 chasadim, and we'll see, perhaps we could even do one more chapter. Okay, chesed number 5, hachnosas Archim. The guests are Tiferes and Yesod, and you got to give them residence in Malchus. Now, how do you do that? Devorah says that those who are chased from their home to learn Torah, or those who establish times for Torah, you cause Tiferes to reside in Malchus. And there are 3 types of chesed that you could perform: achila, shasiya, and levaya, like we find in this week's Parsha, Vayita Eshel Bevershava. Achila, somehow you sweetening various aspects of Gevurahs. Shasiya, you tie Tiferes to Malchus. Levaya is also applicable. And Devorah says it is worthy to somehow articulate while you're doing what you're doing. You want to say, I'm trying to accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish. There was a certain interesting concept that the Devorah threw in, that Yaakov Avinu is representative of Tiferes and Rachel Imenu is Malchus. And the unity of Yaakov and Rachel is the combination of Tiferes and Malchus. Okay, number 6. Esek hachayim ames, being that the living should be involved in the needs of the dead. This is very difficult to ascribe that there should be something dead in Shamayim. So when a sphera is concealed and disappears, so one must rectify and cleanse the sphera with good deeds. So there's a concept that a sphera, obviously a sphera can't die, but it could be hidden and concealed and covered over. And you want to, the same way a body is carried on the shoulder, you want to carry the sphera bakosef. Now the Devorah says one should focus during a burial on the secret of the pasuk Vayikbar Oisai Bagai. Vayikbar Oisai Bagai, Hashem buried Moshe Rabbeinu Bagai. Bagai is a gematria 13, the 13 attributes of mercy. Then Hachnasas Kala. Whenever a person davens, Shachris, Mincha, or Marav, Karbanos, Psukei Zimra, Berachas Kriya Shema, Shemona Esrei, Tachnon, you are being machnis the kala l'chuppah, and you are causing unity between the chasan and the kala, the spherois lamala, and therefore when one is mispalel, he should have in mind he is doing chesed lamala of achnasas kala l'chuppah. Okay, now the number 8 is havas shalom ben adam lachaverai. Who are the 2 friends that you have to make shalom between? Tiferes and Yesod. Sometimes they drift apart. Yesod steers to the left, Tiferes to the right. Then they oppose each other. You want to keep Yesod to the right side. Chachma and Bina, you want to keep them together. Gevurah and Chesed, you want to keep them together. Netzach and Hoid, you want to keep them together. Tiferes and Malchus, you want to keep them together. So these are 8 forms of Chesed that we do down here. And have in mind that through your actions you're able to be mitzarif them lamala. Okay, Marv Rabbi chapter 6. I guess our goal is we're going to try to finish the Devorah this week, and hopefully b'siyata d'shmaya start something new next week. Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is how does a person accustom themselves with midas hagevurah? Now one would think one should not in any way accustom themselves to midas hagevurah, as midas hagevurah is midas hadin. So the Devorah says that anytime you arouse the Yetzer Hara, you arouse midas hagevurah, and therefore we don't want to arouse our Yetzer Hara so as not to arouse midas hagevurah. The Devorah said something very interesting, that a person was created with two Yetzers, Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Tov is Chesed, Yetzer Hara is Gevurah. The Zohar says in Parsha Bereshis, the Yetzer Tov was created for a person himself. The Yetzer Hara was created for one's wife. Tiferes is Chesed. Gevurah is smile, is l'smile, is midas hadin. Tiferes is the ish. The ish is midas hachesed. The woman is midas hadin and midas hagvurah. God only created a Yetzer Hara to use for the isha. Because if a person arouses the Yetzer Hara for himself, he's ma'oyer the Adam ha'elyon, his counterpart in heaven, and he causes great destruction. One should not arouse the Yetzer Hara, whether it's for desire for money, or kas, or bia, for oneself, but rather one should only be ma'oyer the Yetzer Hara le'ishtai. The Yetzer Hara was only created le'ishtai. And therefore, one should be ma'oyer the Yetzer Hara only le'ishtai, and one should do it benachas. Let's say one clothes his wife, or repairs his home. By doing so, by arousing the Yetzer Hara only le'ishtai, to please one's wife, you're masaking the Shechina. When one uses the Yetzer Hara only la'avas ishtai, you're masaking the Shechina. By doing so, you're using the Yetzer Hara for its intended purpose le'ishtai, and then when you are arousing the left side only for its intended purpose, then you're mamtik the din, and you actually sweeten it and bring it back to the right side. This is the secret of the pasuk, Semoiloi tachas l'roishi v'yiminoi techabekeni. So one should have in mind that whatever one does for, so to speak, his Yetzer Hara, be it for his wife, to buy her clothing, jewelry, to make her happy and pleased, one should have in mind to be ma'or the Yetzer Hara only le'ishtai, and this will bring all chemda and taiva l'tzad yamin, and you're makasheret liyamin, and you're mamtikit b'sharsham, and you're makayim the inyan of semoiloi tachas l'roishi v'minoi sechabekeni. Okay, Marv Rabbi Sai. That's the end of chapter 5 and 6. Tomorrow we'll try to do chapter 7. Thanks everyone for joining in the new time. And today is Monday. Tonight 9:15, Masechta Yevamos. Tomorrow, same time, Be'ezus Hashem, at 5:30. If anybody finds themselves in Cedarhurst the Shabbos, we're making a bar mitzvah. And if you come to the bar mitzvah, you'll be mekayim the inyan of the Tomer Devorah, that when you go into Golus, then you're emulating the Shechina. So if anybody wants to come into Golus, this is not a bad one. As the Samer Rebbe once said when he visited in Miami, he says, if you have to be in Golus, Miami's not a bad place. So, Rabbi Sai, have a great day. Shkayach.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.